This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I am so excited for this spa day. Candles lit, music on, hot tub warm and ready. And then my chronic hives come back. Again, in the middle of my spa day. What a wet blanket. Looks like another spell of itchy red skin. If you have chronic spontaneous urticaria, or CSU, there is a different treatment option. Hives during my next spa day? Not if I can help it. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Black Friday deals are going on all month long. Save up to 45% off site-wide plus an additional 10% off every order right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
An Olympian, two-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist, multiple medal winner at World and European Championships, and now a flourishing media career combining sport and light entertainment on a Saturday night. This is Great British Bosses from Anything But Footy. I'm John.
And I'm Michael. He bossed the track, he bossed the Gladiators arena, and he bossed the Strictly Ballroom. Well, for a few weeks. And together with HSBC, he's now trying to help us take charge of our finances. He knows what it's like to work in an unpredictable job. Oh, and he does just look like a boss.
What's happening, people? Harry Aikines-Aryeety here, also known as Nitro from Gladiators. I'm fresh off the Strictly dance floor, but most importantly, you're listening to Anything But Footy.
Let's talk first about this new research from HSBC UK that reveals that we'd rather be financially comfortable than healthy or fulfilled at work. You are telling people to think about their financial future earlier. Is this because you come from a place in entertainment and in sport which is unpredictable financially?
Yeah, you're spot on, really. I think, especially as an athlete and someone growing up with, from quite humble backgrounds, we're always trying to find a path and a way to feel more secure within our lifestyle and where we want to sort of go in life. But once you do sort of, luckily enough, I was quite a successful athlete at quite a young age. I then found myself with options, but at the same time, I didn't really know what to do with them. And it's quite funny because you say, that I think it was 37% of people say that they prefer to be financially comfortable, more so than their health, focusing on their health or career. But wildly, 46% of people don't invest. So at the same time as trying to maximize your wealth and maximize, your financial wealth in that capacity, the HSBC have launched on their app, they've launched, more opportunities for people to invest. And we're talking about over 350 new investment funds. And you can set it up in like just, quite a few easy steps. And, a lot of us find it quite complicated and not feasible in some aspects to be able to know how to invest. Some people say that they kind of refer to their friends or family, and not everyone comes from those backgrounds that are able to advise them as well. And it's so important as athletes and as individuals and young people growing up, giving yourself an opportunity to be successful. And this is one of those tools that can actually help you.
And I guess with you, when you look at things like UK sport funding, it's fantastic that we have a developed funding system for elite athletes in this country, but it doesn't help you get a mortgage because it's not deemed a salary, is it?
Well, no, not at all, and it's means tested as well. So, if you are earning over a certain amount, the capital, the financial aspect of it is taken away, and you're more so focusing on the resources like the physio, access to certain training centres and training camps. So, it's really important for not just athletes, but just young individuals who are looking to sort of give themselves an opportunity to be able to have a financial future. I think it's so important because at the end of the day, if I'm a father, I have a family, it's really important for me to be able to pass something on, but also look after my family. So at the same time, when you have such resources like HSBC are offering on their app, it's amazing because not only is it less complicated, but there's actually like a select list of funds that you'll be able to get information on, and they're expert curated as well. So it's kind of like spoon feeding you ever so slightly, but at the same time, it's allowing you to step on the right path to be able to invest in your future.
And Harry, I would suggest what you're saying is don't be scared to look at how to do savings, how to do investments. It's a bit like saying to you, would you like to go ballroom dancing? You've got to try new things, haven't you? You've got to learn.
I've been trying a lot of new things in the last 2 years, haven't I? Yeah, we've got to learn. I think sometimes we shouldn't be too scared of the unknown. Embracing the unknown and giving yourself, and I'm no financial advisor, but at the same time, it's giving yourself an opportunity to learn. I've done the same thing on my journey, on my financial journey. I've been quite lucky to have the right type of people around me. So I have invested in certain funds. I have been in a position where I've been able to maximize some aspects of financial freedom, financial wealth, sorry, because I've listened and I've done my research, and I've looked at certain tools that are out there available to me, and this HSBC app is a new one that definitely people should give themselves an opportunity to not be scared of, because give it some time. Like I said, it's you can set it up in five easy steps, I believe. So do that, give yourself an opportunity.
Yeah, you can find the link on our podcast. Now, I mentioned Strictly Come Dancing, Harry. There was someone this morning when I said that I was going to interview you today who was more excited than I've ever known him to be. This is my 9-year-old son, Matthew, and he's recorded a little video for you. So I'm going to try and play it down the wonderful tech of Zoom. That is him this morning before he went to school.
Hello, Harry. I just wanted to say that I loved your time on Strictly and I think you deserved a 10. Anyways, are you going to be in the Commonwealth Games this year? P.S. Can I have your autograph? Bye!
Oh, bless him.
There we go. That is my son Matthew. A, he wants your autograph. B, he said you should have got a 10 in Strictly. And C, the big question, which we want to know as anything but footy, is are you coming back to athletics? So where do you want to start? Should we start with Strictly Ballroom and a 10? Why did you not get a 10 in Strictly Come Dancing?
I do not know why I didn't get a 10. I think the judges were a little bit mean to me there, weren't they? I think for Matthew's sake, they should have given me a 10 just because he's asking for it, right? If any, that's how it worked. But I think technically we know that I'm no dancer. I'm a big muscular athlete who has been dorsiflexing his toes for 20 years, and now I'm being asked to point them after trying to retrain every part of my body is slightly difficult. But you know what? I had a great time on the show. Learning something new, being able to express myself in a medium that I'm really fond of. But at the same time, Matthew, I appreciate the support, because there were so many little ones and young ones out there that was watching Nitro or watching me in some capacity going out there and taking on something that I'm not very good at, but giving it my all and having a good go.
So what about the Commonwealth Games then? I mean, it's in Glasgow. It's virtually a home champs. You've got a couple of gold medals. I remember seeing you on the beach in Gold Coast with Richard Kilty and Zarnell. Are we going to go again? It's going to be as warm in Glasgow as it will in Australia.
The Commonwealth Games have always got such a special place in my heart, because it was actually the Commonwealth Youth Games that was my first ever international, and that was back in 2004. They said Melbourne, but we were in Bendigo. That's like telling people you're going to London and end up in Loughborough. So I do love the Commonwealth. For me, it's just figuring out what my schedule's like for the year. Really, I do have some commitments, obviously, as a gladiator, firstly as well. So I'm back training, so that's important. I can start my winter prep now, because I actually haven't retired. I haven't come out and said I'm retired. I last competed. I ran 10:17 in 2024. I was injured, so 2025 was coming back from injury, in which I was able to do what I needed to do. So I don't know. I'll see what the year looks like and see how fast I can get my legs turning over again.
Because Gladiators, as we know, filmed during the summer months. So I guess there's a decision there, isn't there? Do you want to be Nitro, or do you want to have one more blast at the old track and field? Because the calendars are quite similar. There's a choice for you, I guess.
Do you know what it is? I think when you really think about it, there's an opportunity to be successful across the board. I remember 2024 2023, when we actually filmed Gladiators Series 1. I went a month of when we last spoke, I think, with the British champs with the rain, I believe it was. I opened I made the final having not stepped on a track for a month because I was filming. So I was quite proud of myself then. But obviously, you can't really juggle things for that period of time. So I just think I need to see how I go, see what my body's saying. Because what I do like and what I do have to say for all of those young kids out there, being an athlete has enabled me to be probably the best gladiator. I'm the most adaptable. I can do the majority of everything, and that's because of my skill set, running fast and conditioning myself as a sprinter. So those skills that I've learned and how I've trained my body has allowed me to be able to be as good on that show. So I will continually train as an athlete. My training program hasn't changed.
Now, as you know, Michael and I are Olympic obsessives, and we love the Commonwealth Games as well. But actually, this series of Strictly Come Dancing, I've really got into, mainly because my son's watching it, as previously mentioned. You talked there about the condition that you're in for an athlete. How tough is it to do Strictly? We've seen Stefan Dennis have to pull out this year. Lavoie is missing Blackpool. How tough really is it, Harry?
I think it's difficult to say because each person's going to have their own journey given their own background. I remember spending time with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and literally within 2 weeks, his body changed. You could see so much more of his neck, his abs were popping through. Whereas he's a retired footballer, whereas I'm still an active athlete. I felt like I still needed to do a little more training personally. But what's tough is, trying to hold a frame for 2 minutes. I'm an explosive athlete. So if you ask me to stay still for 2 minutes, that's quite tough. But then equally, I'm highly adaptable. So for me as an athlete, I think it was fine. I was quite happy to go as far as I needed to go with that sort of training program, 6 hours a day. I'm used to training 6 hours a day. That's not really a problem. However, for people that I would recommend that any celebrities that do want to go into Strictly, you're probably going to need to do at least 2 to 3 months of conditioning prior because it's your Achilles, it's your calves, it's your knees, it's your shoulders, it's your backs, it's your neck. All of these types of aspects do have an effect. And I often say that the Strictly dancers are kind of they're they're athletes, but they act like models. So they don't think about the performance side of things. So don't follow them. You need to come with a game plan.
And of course, I know that you're working with the BBC for the Paris Olympics, being a roving reporter role there. And there was, of course, breaking in the Paris Olympics, but that has now dropped out again for LA. What did you make of dancing in the Olympics, and should it have a place?
Um, I think every sport in some capacity, provided it can inspire and motivate, has a place at the Olympics in some capacity. However, it's just understanding how you judge it. Um, that might be the thing that we talk about regarding Strictly and Matthew, thinking I should have a 10. You need to understand how it's judged. I think for a lot of people to understand when it comes down to sprinting, who crosses the line first is the winner. Same as gymnastics, you understand that certain moves have a certain what's it called that I'm looking for? Criteria or difficulty or level of skill behind it because it's listed. So as long as there's an understanding of what we're watching and people can do their research, as we were talking about with HSBC and all of these sort of things, as long as you can understand it in some capacity, that's the most important thing.
Did you always fancy a career in light entertainment? I mean, I know Strictly and Gladiators kind of combines the athleticism as well, but did you always, and you sprinters, you have a bit of a showman about you, of course you do, but did you always think that might be the area you go to?
I think so. I genuinely think so. When I was younger, I remember saying to my West African parents that I wanted to do music and drama with IT, and they sort of laughed at me and said, "No, you're doing your core subjects, your maths, your Englishes, your science, your geographies." And it's funny that I've ended up coming back around to this, and I've always been an expressionate person. I've always been someone that wants to learn and express myself at the same time. So I don't find things awkward. I don't find learning awkward. I don't find expressing myself awkward. So when you did see me on the track, I would, express myself. And when social media came around, I was, using that as a means to express myself also and show my true self as well, which obviously has evidently enabled me to be on the platforms I'm on now. But within that, when I was in the sport, a lot of people said that, if I wanted to present, if I wanted to be on anchoring something or, part of that panel on the sofa, that would work. But I do quite like the entertainment side. A lot of people said that, I'm made for TV, and it's quite evident I'm made for Saturday night TV. If you ask Matthew, that's the most important thing, right? So
Right.
just call me Mr. Saturday Night.
Because I had the privileged position in Paris to be that trackside reporter that asked all the questions in the immediate aftermath. And I always remember interviewing Phoebe Gill after her semi-final. And she said to me, what we do as athletes is a performance. We go out there and we perform. Do you know and understand what she means by that?
100%. It's there's an essence of delusion within our brain that as athletes we need to encourage ourselves into, because you're going out to perform against the world's best. So you need to convince yourself that you're a character. You need to convince yourself that you're a person, that you're confident, that you're going to be successful. You're telling yourself all these things. So you are maybe not embodying your true self, but you're being a delusional character that's going out to be the best in the world. And at the same time, once you're out there, whether it be Noah Lyles jumping around, whether it be you're doing things to convince yourself and other people that you're in control, whether it be taking time to get on your marks and, when they say set, picking up your hand because you're not ready, you're taking control of the narrative. And then once you're going out there to give the performance of a lifetime, that in itself is then done. And what then transpires after is, pure emotion and how you channel that.
Final two questions then from me, Harry. We know you've won relay medals at the World Championships, in the Commonwealth Games. Great Britain went to the World Championships just a few months ago, didn't win any relay medals. We need you back. You said you're not retired. We need you back.
My batting skills are pretty good. Are they as transferable as my other skills? I don't know if I can pass them on to other people, but I don't think people really appreciate how difficult the relay is and coming together as a team, because we've got so many good individual sprinters now. It's very difficult for people to come together, I think, under that one sort of umbrella at the end of a championships. And we got an Olympic medal, so they're not struggling. This can just be happening. This can just happen year to year, really. I think the women in the first time didn't medal for the first time in a very long time now. So the relay's in a good place. Darren Campbell's done a great job with it. But I'd love to be back in the fold. I'd always love to run that second or fourth leg or third leg even. A lot of people didn't realise I could run such a good third leg. But for me personally, I'd love to be back. It's just a factor if I have time to.
Absolutely. You're incredibly
and if I'm
busy.
good enough.
Absolutely. And the last question for me is, can you just a reminder to send Matthew your autograph?
I can do that. Your people get in touch with my people. Give me an address.
Harry, we don't have people. What would be just quickly your final message then to people listening to the podcast on getting ready for the future and whatever that might be?
Genuinely keep supporting athletes, keep supporting everyone in the way that you're doing. Obviously, I touched earlier on HSBC and their new app with, the investment opportunities they have there, with so many funds available from a curated, selected list as well that can help people improve themselves. And I think me as an athlete, I always try to think about my future and plan for the future, whether it be programming in one sense, and that transferable skills obviously come across into my personal life and my financial life. So, I just implore people to always look out for themselves and try to future-proof themselves.
Harry Aikines-Aryeety, thank you very much for talking to Great British Bosses from Anything But Footy. Great to speak to you.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.